Oi, oi, how's it going? It's 2023. Yep, if you watched my last video, I'm really living up to my New Year's resolutions. Play the clip. Hopefully, I can make more content like this in the future, probably a little more reliable. Fingers crossed next year. That's my New Year's resolution, boys. But yeah, so that's really working out. I missed the entire month of January not doing a video because I'm lazy. Don't worry, boys, massive comeback incoming. I got another video and it's wrestling related. Recently, WWE 2K23 was announced. I thought we would never see it because for some reason 2K with their NBA games, they like to do it on time and, you know, release 2023 games before 2023. Like going into like the NBA season, you have a game that's NBA 2K23 for 2023. But for some reason, WWE 2K is not like that at all. So we are now in the month of January and the game has just been announced. There's no gameplay footage, to my knowledge there's no trailer at the time of filming this, just the cover of the game art. However, I have been on my shit lately. Not really. This video that I wanted to make, it should have come out like when 2K22 was being released, but I just didn't release it. And then 2K2023 rolled around. Kind of. And I had to redesign all of the concept art that I was doing, or like the layout of what I wanted. And yeah, it's still not like this is my my game cover, and this is the actual one again. Yeah, mine's not that good. But I put a lot of thought into it. So yep. So let's not faff about. Let's get into what I would want to see in WWE 2K23. And as the title says, let's make a game. First, I just want to start with the in-game features because I just want to quickly get that out the way. Although I think the current gameplay for 2K22 has actually been quite good and a nice switch up, adding the blocking mechanic and a dodging mechanic and that kind of shit. I think it's very cool. I kind of like it, the realistic simulation form of it without, you know, taking away any of the fun like chain wrestling did a couple 2Ks ago. But these are some of the features that I think most of them were actually included in past games, but they just kind of fell off. And I thought that would be a cool feature to bring back. So first off, we have the double knockout, count out, and pass out feature. This was very present in the early SmackDown vs. Raw games. I think they could, you know, switch it up and make it a little more, you know, natural, instead of just like cutting away into this awkward little mini game. But I think if done right, it could be a really cool feature and add to that, you know, realistic simulation kind of feel. The next feature I would like to see brought back or kind of like tweaked a little bit is the set weapons on fire feature. I know you can set a table on fire in the recent games, but I think it'd be kind of cool just to get like something else on fire, like a kendo stick. I think that would be a pretty cool thing, or bring back a 2x4 and set that on fire.
Holy fucking shit!
Kind of bringing back that ECW feel. However, I don't want it to be like such a common thing like the 2K games have made it. I think making it into like a character trait or one of those like a payback or something like that, I think that would be the best option, so more extreme superstars can use it, and, you know, the more tame superstars will stray away from using flaming tables and shit like that. I also want thumbtacks to be an available weapon. Thumbtacks are still a common weapon used in today's wrestling in non-sanctioned matches and hardcore matches. AEW do it a lot, and WWE don't shy away from it either. So I think it would be a good addition to kind of, you know, have that extra weapon. Because the weapons, they're getting kind of bland. There's only so much you can do with a fucking baseball bat. Next up, I want crowd interactions to be back, you know, like taunting the crowd or interacting with weapons such as drinks and you know, signs and stuff like that, tearing apart signs. This was also used in the SmackDown vs. Raw game, and I just thought it brought that new level of immersion, and it's kind of lost in, the new WWE games. You can taunt to the crowd on like the turnbuckle and shit, but you can't actually interact with the crowd, which kind of sucks. So I want to kind of bring that back. The next thing I want is Rumble stare downs, like not once in a blue moon type of stare down, but mandatory stare downs in the Rumble. This can be turned off in an option feature, sure, but I would like it to be there going from Final 4 to Final 3 to Final 2. And yeah, I just think, again, adding to that immersion, and I think that would be a really cool addition. Let's first take a look at the options menu. I feel like it's a very overlooked menu when talking about a sports game because it can hide some really cool shit. So with the options menu, there's the classic blood can be turned on and off. However, I would like to kind of add like an intensity slider from low to high, just to bring back, early 2000s like blading, where like Eddie Guerrero and John Cena, they would be covered in red. And then you can be like a little bit more tame. So like today's standards where, people actually bleed by accident. I also kind of want to bring back stamina because the pass out feature I think would be really cool to kind of mesh the two together. However, I would like this to be, optional. You can turn it off, turn it back on. And I just think, having that mesh of the pass out feature when your stamina is incredibly low, I think that'd be a cool addition. And it kind of gives you an insight to when your character will pass out instead of just having it randomly pass out. I know I just talked shit about it, but chain wrestling should be enabled and disabled. I know that for me personally, it's incredibly boring. However, adding to the simulation, I think chain wrestling is a very impactful kind of way to storytell in real wrestling. And just having that added realism for when you want to simulate matches to give off like a realistic feel. Also bringing back fair play. I know that wasn't really a feature that many people used. However, fair play is just being tweaked a bit and every superstar's on a level playing field. And I think the more you play, I think the more stronger your character becomes, whether you want to play as Brock Lesnar in Play Now and just constantly grind with him, and then he becomes like, 100 overall where everyone else is like stuck at 40. I think that would kind of be a cool feature, like a level up system. Tweaking WWE Live a bit. WWE Live will be for updating superstar attires, superstar entrances, and superstar overalls as well, just to kind of keep up like the NBA 2K updates do. Because I don't feel like WWE 2K do a lot of updates, especially to their roster when things change so fast. So you can also make your own roster in Creator Roster, which I think would be kind of cool just to, for someone to make all these created characters and just kind of have like an 06 roster or, like a 99 roster, which has a lot of old faces that you might not get the rights for in this upcoming game. Next is the jukebox. One of the biggest gripes I have with any sports game is the jukebox because there's never enough music. The music of a game is wildly important, and due to the inclusion of licensed music in most, if not all sports game, I want to keep the trend going. I want to turn back the clock to that SmackDown vs. Raw kind of feel, but kind of incorporate modern music as well. These tracks will include Game On by Disciple, Obey featuring Youngblood by Bring Me the Horizon, Oh Yeah by Green Day, Seize the Power by Yonica, Blinding Lights by The Weeknd, Bloodsucker by A Day to Remember, Take a Ride Lights Camera Action by The Hunter, Surviving the Game by Skillet, Beast Mode by Club Danger, That's a Joke by NF, Own My Mind by Måneskin, Blackout by Turnstile, Prey by Parkway Drive, Heart of a Champion featuring Papa Roach and Ice Nine Kills by Hollywood Undead, Rebels by Call Me Charisma, Superstar by Saliva, Monsters featuring Black Bear by All Time Low, Young by Beartooth, Bummed featuring Alice in Wonderland by Chet Porter, Play God or Play Dead by Power Man 5000, We Appreciate Power by Grimes and Hannah, Eat by Poppy, Doorman by Slow Tie and Muramasa, Fallen Apart by Young Franco, Denzel Curry and Pell, The Violence by Asking Alexandria, People by the 1975, Wide Eyes by Bad Flower, Code Red by Token, Unsainted by Slipknot, Bad Habits by Silverstein and Intervals, Kill the Noise by Papa Roach, Sacrificial by Rez and Paris, If You Have My Voodoo Doll, Give Me a Hug by Loveless, Planet Zero by Shinedown, Prescription Kid by Kid Brunswick, My Way by Limp Bizkit, Nowhere to Go by Bad Omens, Experiment on Me by Halsey, No Mercy by Paris, Legacy by Motionless in White, I Disagree by Poppy, Public Enemy No. 1 by Megadeth, Tyrants by Sleeping with Sirens, So-Called Life by 3 Days Grace, Why Am I Like This by The Word Alive, When the Lights Come On by Ask Alexandria, Death by Nothing Nowhere, Nightmares by Palais Royale, Monster by Hands Like Houses, and Come and Go by Juice WRLD with Marshmello. And if you want to listen to these songs, there's a Spotify link in the description, just in case, you want to listen to some WWE 2K23 inspired music. Alright, enough of the bullshit, time to move on, and let's head straight to play now. I want to bring back a whole lot of match types that are not in the new WWE games because I just feel like they bring so much variety and fun to the games. A little more stupid stipulations, but insanely fun. So the game modes in play now, we have 1-on-1, 2-on-2, Triple Threat, Fatal 4-Way, 5-man, 6-man, 8-man, 10-man, Handicap, Royal Rumble, Tournament, and Custom Match. For 1v1 matches we have Normal, Falls Count Anywhere, Extreme Rules, Ladder, Table, TLC, I Quit, Hell in a Cell, First Blood, Steel Cage, Iron Man, Last Man Standing, No Holds Barred, Submission, 3 Stages of Hell, Backstage Brawl, Brawl, Inferno, Buried Alive, Lumberjack, and Special Guest Referee. For 2-on-2 we have Normal, Tornado Tag, Mixed Tag, Extreme Rules, Steel Cage, Hell in a Cell, Ladder, Table, and TLC. For Triple Threat we have Normal, Extreme Rules, Falls Count Anywhere, Steel Cage, Hell in a Cell, Ladder, Table, and TLC. Fatal 4-Way we have Normal, Extreme Rules, Ladder, Table, TLC, Hell in a Cell, Steel Cage, Falls Count Anywhere, and Battle Royal. For 5-man we have Normal, Extreme Rules, Ladder, Hell in a Cell, Steel Cage, Table, TLC, and Battle Royal. For 6-man we have Normal, Tag Team, Tornado Tag, Texas Tornado Tag, Ladder, Ladder Tag, Ladder Triple Tag, Hell in a Cell Tag, Hell in a Cell Triple Tag, Table, Table Tag, Table Triple Tag, TLC, TLC Tag, TLC Triple Tag, Battle Royal, and the Elimination Chamber. For 8-man we have Normal, Tag Team, Texas Tornado Tag, Ladder, 4-Way Ladder Tag, and Battle Royal. For 10-man we have Battle Royal, Normal Tag, Ladder, and Survivor Series Elimination Tag Match. For Handicap we have 1-on-2 Tag, 1-on-2 Tornado Tag, 1-on-3 Tag, 1-on-3 Tornado Tag, 2-on-3 Tag, and 2-on-3 Tornado Tag. And for the Royal Rumble, we have 10-man, 20-man, and 30-man because fuck the greatest Royal Rumble, we're not having any more than 30 because it always sucks. And lastly, for tournaments, we have the Championship Scramble, Beat the Clock Challenge, Mae Young Classic, Dusty Rhodes Classic, Mixed Match Challenge, and King of the Ring. I also want to bring back Custom Match, even though I barely used it when I played these games. I feel like, it's a neat inclusion. Alright, let's go back and move on to 2K Showcase. Instead of just having the showcase in this little mode, I also wanted to kind of, group together 2K Towers because I also feel like that was a pretty fun kind of game mode to have. But let's start with the 2K Showcase first. This year's 2K Showcase involves 3 superstars that stand out in WWE history. The Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, the Rated R Superstar, Edge, and the face that runs the place, real life cover athlete, John Cena. All 3 showcases contain 20 matches of the selected superstar's career and will play out the same as previous showcases with cinematic and interactive cutscenes and interviews by each superstars to introduce each match. Once the showcase has been completed, it can be replayed with special objectives which unlock bonus content. The showcase also has the new What If feature, where the player gets to go head to head with legends that they never had the chance to face. These legends, however, will be picked by the superstar, whether Brock Lesnar once said he wanted to go up against, I don't fucking know, Crash Holly. Next up, let's move to 2K Towers. There'll be 10 towers in total, each with 7 opponents in each. Each tower will have their own theme like cruiserweights, femme fatales, and legends, and will update frequently along with WWE Live. Alright, let's move to the next game mode, WWE Universe. Once again, this isn't really just one game mode, it's kind of like a category with 2 game modes in it, like the previous game mode. This one will have WWE Universe mode, and it will also have Story Creator, because I feel like they're very similar in ways. So let's start with Universe mode. Universe mode plays the same as previous titles, including control of rosters, shows, championships, rivalries, calendar, etc. With new features added, such as the ability for AI to incorporate appropriate and relevant storylines with more frequent and larger variety of cutscenes. Pay-per-views can include 4 brands to the show, and if desired, the player can determine the outcome of each match when editing the show, which I feel like has been incorporated in the past couple games. I don't know, I've never tried it. Moving on to the Story Creator. The Story Creator allows players to be the creative mind behind the WWE product, including using cutscenes included in Universe mode, Road to WrestleMania, My Career, Showcase mode, and cutscenes specifically made for the mode. These cutscenes will only take a few seconds to load up as well. A quick jab at 2K, when, you know, I don't even know if it was used in 2K22, but in 2K 2019, it took forever to load cutscenes. I also want to say that the Story Creator will have like the old layout of like a WWE 12, where the Story Creator would play out in full screen. You can add text and there's little sidebars that you kind of navigate with, because I feel like the current make your own Titantron kind of layout sucks ass and is really slow. So the old story creation suite I feel like would be a better approach. Players can book every match, determine the outcomes of every match, and have the creative freedom to include text, music, and sound effects to their cutscenes. Players can also load custom stories in the Load Stories option, which you need to download from Community Creations. Speaking of creations, let's move to the Creation Suite. First off, let's start off with Creator Superstar. The Creation Suite in Creator Superstar is just as detailed as previous installments, with every superstar on the roster being customizable, including the freedom to add and remove tattoos, hairstyles, and face paint. Or you can create your superstar from scratch. Create an entrance. Create an entrance is similar to previous installments, however, tag team entrances have an advanced creation suite, and the inclusion of animations, whether that be new or from previous games, are accessible. Also, when choosing music for a superstar's entrance, you can use licensed music from the jukebox and custom tracks by CFO. This was actually reintroduced in WWE 2K22 with having licensed music being accessible to use as entrance music. If the music is not what you want, you can have custom music uploaded to your console. This will work similarly to how it worked with WWE games on the Xbox 360, mostly just being from USB, plug it in, and then choosing your music library from there. Also, obviously, we're bringing back the advanced creation when doing singles superstars as well, because holy shit, WWE 2K22 took a massive step back with creating things. Next is Creator Moveset. Creator Moveset is the same as previous installments with the inclusion of more moves. There will also be returning over-the-top moves from some of the older games. Example, Brock Lesnar's STO or JBL's over-the-top clothesline from hell. I also want to include moves with personality such as Booker T's scissor kick spinneroonie combo, or even Goldberg's no-sell over-the-top facial expressions, so fans could have a simulated experience or have superstars with over-the-top moves that look more devastating. I want to also bring back Creator Championship. Creator Championship is the same as previous installments when they actually had it, with more championship designs. Next is Creator Victory. The Creation Suite in Creator Victory has been advanced to be more in-depth with a 3-step advanced creation to make victories more unique. It'll be more of like a watered-down version of Create an Entrance in advanced settings. Next, I want to bring back Creator Weapon. The new addition to the Creation Suite with a wide variety of weapons that can be further customized, such as a steel chair customized to be a barbed wire steel chair, or a baseball bat, I don't know, to be a spiked baseball bat. None of which alters the damage of these weapons, it's more so of an aesthetic. Next up is Creator Finisher. Creator Finisher returns just as creative as ever and operates the same as previous titles. And then lastly, you have Community Creations. Community Creations returns with all the old categories, and you can also download rosters, as previously mentioned, and stories for the Story Creator mode. Alright, let's get into the real meat and potatoes, because for some reason I spent so much time improving the GM mode. So for the GM mode, we'll have two modes. You have traditional mode. The traditional mode works the exact same as previous wrestling titles, like the SmackDown vs. Raw ones. And then we also have modern mode. Modern mode adds new features, which includes importing shows to be GM of, choosing a GM to run the show, having traits, and much more. Some of these options can be turned off. Let's do this step by step so you can follow the process of what I want GM mode to be. So let's start with GM choosing. Player can choose a GM to run their show. This could be male or female and can be a custom character, an on-screen GM, or even a WWE superstar or legend, which kind of eliminates them from competing. Next up will be the GM traits menu. Once you begin, you can select one GM trait and earn more as you level up. Leveling up comes from running a successful brand. Each trait impacts different aspects of how your brand will be ran. These traits include Negotiator. Negotiator persuades superstars, making them more likely to agree to contract proposals when offering them less money than they want, mostly free agents when their contract is up. On-screen personality. On-screen personality incorporates the GM into storylines which can increase superstar morale and improve ratings slightly. Way with words. Way with words persuades superstars to remove their contract clause, making booking more flexible, removing title shots, no trade clause, etc. Talent Spotter. Talent Spotter provides a significant discount when signing those in developmental and on the indies. Safety First. Safety First reduces the risk of superstar injuries when signed to your brand, and if injured, they have a higher chance of returning earlier. Blood Will Spill. Blood Will Spill allows more extreme stipulations on regular shows, which boosts ratings significantly, but higher risk of injuries. Friend of the Chairman. Friend of the Chairman alters Vince's morale, making it more difficult for the chairman to fire you. Man of the People. Man of the People gives you a boost in fan interest and gives you an insight of what matchups the fans would like to see, which can boost your rating significantly. Righting Wrongs. Righting Wrongs resets the morale of unhappy superstars. Resetting is limited, and the amount of resets you have will reset each month. Once you've selected your trait, you will begin to draft superstars. The draft takes place once you've selected your traits. You will take place in a draft with other brands. Depending on how much money you want to spend, you can opt out after your brand's first 15 picks. Once you've completed the draft, you are presented with the home screen. You'll be presented with multiple options: booking, superstars, staff, scout results from Performance Center, and industry news. So let's take a look at booking. Booking allows you to book the current week's show and can incorporate storylines and segments depending on the story writers. Superstars allows you to look over the rosters and see every superstar and what brand they're on. You can also view a superstar's thoughts on their contract, role, and overview on management. Staff is similar to the superstar menu, seeing the total matches and events that each staff has participated in, and their current status and thoughts on the brand. Scouts Result Performance Center gathers information about those in the Performance Center, including injuries, potential, brand interests, and contract interests. Next, let's have a look at Office. And the first thing you'll see is ratings. Ratings allows you to see the ratings of all the weekly shows and how many fans jumped ship to watch another product. Calendar allows you to see the schedule for each shows and upcoming pay-per-views. Messages allows you to see any news that's relevant to your brand, including trades, your superstars' morale, signings, and releases. You can also book interviews with superstars over the phone. This will transition to a sit-down chat with a selected superstar to talk about a variety of things. Calling them in for no reason or saying the wrong things can affect their morale. Finances to keep track with all the money you spend and projected earnings after each month, year, or pay-per-view. Managed staff allows you to hire and fire staff in different positions, such as referees, commentators, interviewers, announcers, story writers, etc. Budget shows everything you've spent, from your weekly, monthly, and yearly income, and set budgets for staff, superstars, concessions, and merchandise, all of which can be modified throughout the year. When changing the pricing of concessions and merchandise, this can affect customer consumption. The chairman will give you a list of tasks and expected date to have them done by. If completed, you will have a high morale with Vince McMahon securing your job, and if failed, you can get fired. Next, let's have a look at rosters and start with Superstars. Superstars allows you to alter a superstar's gimmick, attire, and championship divisions. Changing anything about the superstar can positively or negatively affect the superstar's morale. Storylines shows all the storylines that your writers have come up with and which ones are already being used. Rivalries allows you to see the rivalries that have occurred recently on your roster. These can be created or automated by the story writers if desired. Contracts will allow you to view your roster's contracts, and this also allows you to renegotiate contracts when contracts need to be extended or have expired. Proposed trade allows you to trade yourself to acquire assets. Trade Finder allows you to have mock trades made for you to help acquire assets easier. Championships allows you to change the designs or types of the belts used on your brand. You have 6 slots and a minimum of 3 championships are required, and the remaining slots can be left vacant or can be replaced with Money in the Bank briefcases. You can also vacate and select champions when the belts are introduced. Brand Intel gives you a vague insight on what's happening with other brands. For example, which employee from SmackDown is fed up with their management and wants out, making it a little easier to trade for them. Legends allows you to sign Hall of Fame quality talent that aren't currently active full-time. Signing one of these legends is more expensive than a current talent and will be on the roster for a shorter duration, but fan interest increases drastically. Target lists is to outline your superstars that are untouchable on the chopping block or superstars that aren't on your brand and would like to acquire. Searching for talent allows you to send a scout out around the world and search for talent on the indies. The better the scout, the better indie stars he'll find. You can sign them and assign them to your roster as soon as your scout returns. The Performance Center allows you to sign those in developmental. Roster Overview allows you to look at your superstar's win-loss record, their current status on the brand, past and present injuries, and other personal stats and records. Power Ranking shows the ranks of the best superstars on your roster. The higher they are, the better they perform. You can't change these rankings, they're based off win-loss records and show appearances. Show Reviews shows the reviews by the fans and critics, giving you an insight of what to show and what not to show. Accomplishments shows the history, records, and achievements of your brand or the WWE in general. Brand Promoting allows you to send out superstars to help the brand further popularity. This could range from book signings, movie cameos, interviews, etc. Sponsors allows you to do deals for income. The sponsors will have clauses for you to follow. For example, AJ Styles cannot get injured within the next 2 months. If completed, you receive a money bonus. If failed, money will be taken away from you. Rebranding allows you to change the design of the stage of your brand. Change it too much or too little, fan attendance will go down. So let's go back to the main menu and go to Career Mode. Like the previous modes before, Career Mode has 2 different game modes. So let's start with My Career. My Career will play the same as 2K22, with the player having a face-heel dynamic and many different branching paths on all 3 brands. However, the addition of completing all 3 storylines will open 3 bonus storylines, which involve legends and alumni. There will be more choices in this career, with each dialogue option branching out to 4 different paths: a heel path, a face path, anti-hero path, and jobber. These options won't be color-coded or insanely obvious, leading to the story to play out completely different depending on your choices. If we're going balls to the wall with this game, let's throw in a city that you can just roam around in. However, this won't be like an NBA 2K city where it runs off piss-poor servers. This city will be completely offline, surrounded with NPCs that you can interact with. You know, you can take pictures with them, you can tell them to fuck off, you can talk to them and they'll give you what-if scenarios, that kind of stuff. You can also enter different buildings like Shop to change your civilian clothes, WWE Fan Access, that is like an interactive museum, kind of like the end of Modern Warfare 2. And you can also enter WWE Headquarters to talk to the GMs and head honchos of the WWE. WWE Headquarters can also give you bios on the current roster for those who want to read up on every superstar. So not a whole lot of changes for My Career Mode, but the small changes that I've done are pretty big in stature. Another game mode I want to bring back is the very underrated Road to WrestleMania. This mode will have 4 custom-made stories, which I'll give a brief synopsis for each. There will be 2 male superstars, 1 female, and 1 tag team. And those stories are Hitting the Big Time, Becky Lynch. This story will be about Becky Lynch going after both SmackDown and Raw women's titles in a quest to be Becky 2 belts once more. Charlotte will be the SmackDown Women's Champ and Bianca Belair will hold the Raw Women's Championship. In this story, Becky will recall real-life events, such as Becky winning the 2 belts before at WrestleMania. Charlotte will also mention that Becky never pinned her in that match. Becky will also mention how she took the Raw Women's Championship from Bianca Belair in her return and made her look weak. Charlotte will use heel tactics whenever Becky gets close to either belt, which will lead Becky to triumph at WrestleMania. The next story will be Crossroads, Cody Rhodes. This story will take place at WrestleMania 22, recalling Cody Rhodes' return and beating Seth Rollins that year. And from there it follows Cody trying to bring back the events that Dusty Rhodes, his father, created or made famous, like Starrcade, and the McMahon family trying to break him till he gives up. Triple H eventually gives in, and he says he'll bring it back in replacement of WrestleMania if Cody faces him at the resurgence of Starrcade. But if Triple H wins, Cody retires. Next story will be Back on Top, AJ Styles. In this story, AJ suffers an injury that puts him on the shelf for almost a year, and then he returns to become a main eventer once more. He'll face stars like Kevin Owens, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, literally the best of the best, and will end at WrestleMania, coming face to face with the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns for the double titles. Lastly, we have the tag story. 2 words for ya, D-Generation X. This story will follow Triple H trying to upgrade the tag division, stating that he's putting together some of the best tag team acts wrestling has ever seen. This rubs a lot of tag teams the wrong way and leads to the tag division jumping Triple H. He takes a week or 2 off before returning, saying he made 1 phone call, and he enters the tag division with none other than Shawn Michaels. And this not only leads to Triple H getting his revenge and running through the tag team division, they also take the double championships away from the Usos at WrestleMania. Moving on back to the main screen, there are a few more kind of options to choose from, but most of them play out the same, such as online, My WWE. WWE Network will just be like a fast track to actually go to the WWE Network, and unlockables. As far as the roster goes for that, you can use your imagination because it changes like 24/7. That's pretty much it. That's all I really have for WWE 2K23 thus far, or what I would like to see in this upcoming game. Obviously, none of it's going to be in there because fuck 2K, but it would be nice to see at least one of these things come like be included in the game. Fingers crossed. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what kind of stuff you'd want to see in the WWE 2K games. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And I'm sorry for not uploading in January. Alright, latest.